Oh, there's Rocky. Uh, Luna, Roscoe, Mama, and even Simba Cat are down here. Tyler's in the bathroom. So it's the weekend of October 14th, I think. It's almost 10 o'clock. Just going to give a little update on everything going on here. I probably made it almost a week now without totally breaking down. I do think about Willa a lot. But I have to move forward. Now we've discovered some issues probably have to address. We have a vet appointment for Rocky on the 18th, I believe it is. And we're going to get him checked out. He has vomited a couple of times. We're not sure if he ate something that he shouldn't have, or maybe one of the bones that we got from the butcher shop. Maybe he got something. I don't know. But I was talking to Tina about this, and I got some concerns. I'm just going to kind of repeat what I had told her. The average price for rehoming a dog can be usually between $100 and $500, sometimes more, depending upon the breed and the age and the sex. Well, Rocky was $50. And he was very eager to take my money and kick me out the door. Another thing, usually when you are a owner of an animal that needs to rehome it, it's not always the solution that you want as an owner, but you're doing it because it's the better choice. Usually food dish, leash, maybe some clothes, a kennel. Not that I subscribe to the kennel thing, but sometimes. Usually a favorite toy. And a favorite toy is usually something to give the pet, the animal, some familiarity. Rocky came with the leash. That's it. That's all he had. So, we were told that Rocky has never had human food. He's never had table scraps. Well, I cooked up some chicken, boneless chicken, and shredded it and made a kind of like a gravy base and gave him a small plate of that. He has had human food before, but I'm also know from the vet that this is something that can be given to dogs and cats, is boiled chicken and rice. I had a little gravy just because, well, we had some. We also found out that Rocky was eating Blue Buffalo, I guess it was. Not a fan of it. And we mentioned that to the vet, and she says, if you have anything else, use it. And I told her, I said, well, we use Hill's Science Diet. And she says, that's great. And I told her, I said, well, it's the urinary care stuff that we had for Willa. And she says, that's fine. It's good. It's fine for now. But I says, we also have the stuff that we use for Roscoe. which is for adult. And she asked how old Rocky was, and I says, well, he's a little over 2 years old. He says, mix it together. It's fine. You can stretch it out that way. It'll be fine. So that's what we did. Well, we're not sure what Rocky is vomiting up. It's usually more like a kind of a mucus, yellow, liquidy stuff. It's not really chunks or anything. So, not exactly sure. This is where we're coming back to the why was Rocky rehomed? Well, one of the reasons is they had another animal. It was a larger dog. And it seemed that Rocky is, well, you couldn't tell by looking at it right now, but Rocky is pretty energetic. He's up all night, by the way. He may look like he's sleeping, and he probably is right now. But come midnight, 1 o'clock, he'll start his patrols. He'll go around the house checking everything, and then he'll hop on everybody's bed for a little while. Then he'll move to somebody else. He'll check every single room a dozen times. He'll go to the back door, maybe hear a noise. He'll bark. Last night we had some really high winds, and we had some debris rolling around, so he was barking a little bit, the noise, because, well, it's different. I gotta admit, the girls did the same thing. When we moved on to Buckman Street, it was different. Plus, we had a big tree outside our bedroom window, and they barked at the tree because it was close, and it rubbed against the window and the house and made noise. So it was different. Anyways, back to Rocky. What is the possibility that Rocky may have an underlying medical condition that we don't know about? Well, we got Rocky's vet records. It appears from a long ways away, I guess you could say, metaphorically, that his records are complete and he's a healthy dog. But what if they deliberately omitted something? Like they discovered that there's something wrong with Rocky, and that's the reason why they rehomed him, because they didn't want to have to deal with medical bills. I don't want to be in the same boat that we're in with Willa. I'm going to take care of this right away. No, I'm not going to take care of this. Rocky is going to live a long and healthy life with this family. And he will be fantastic. He will not go without anything that he needs. I was ready to black market a kidney for Willa. That's how desperate I was. But we will know more on the 18th. I believe it was 18th. I have a lot of questions, and I think I'm going to go alone because my wife has a tendency to get nervous banter. She kind of talk and talk because she's nervous. But I really need to get some serious questions answered. Rocky has a bump on his side. It's probably just a little cyst. Willa actually had not an ulcer. I forget what that's called. Anyways, her belly button was definitely an outie. It was coming out. And they said that when they go in and she gets fixed, they would fix the belly button for her. And, well, we never got it fixed. And Willa, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I'm really sorry about that. The other thing is Rocky's way underweight. Now, the crappy dog food they're giving him, in my opinion, does not promote healthy growth. I think that is more of a food that's got a lot of fillers, and it's not much for nutritional value, my opinion. We are trying to not only give Rocky the dry Hill Science diet, but we give him wet canned food. We take large cans that we got, we split it. Luna gets half a can, he gets half a can. He hasn't really shown a lot of interest in it. Now, this may be because he's never had wet food before. Nathan, his previous owner, claims that he's only had dry dog food before. Now, good quality dry dog food, that's not a problem. But I really do think that the dogs should have wet food in their diet, because I think they get a more nutritional value out of it. I think the wet food is better for them. Back to again, my opinion. Now, we will know more then. As is right now, something strange has happened with the animal dynamic of the household. Ever since Willa has passed, Simba comes downstairs and he will climb up in the chair and he will sleep in the chair. We did actually move a water dish halfway up the stairs for him. I mean, his favorite spot to sit is halfway up the stairs, just around the corner. We have curved stairs, so he likes to sit at the stair right at the top. The first step that you can't see him on, he will sit there and he'll poke his head around the corner and he'll look. So we put a water dish a couple steps below that, so he could sit on his favorite step and he still had water to get to. Tyler comes downstairs a lot, and the fact that Simba has picked Tyler as his human seems to be kind of strange, because he's supposed to be Rebecca's dog or cat. No. Simba spends a lot of time with Tyler, and whether Tyler admits it or not, he spends a lot of time with him too. I've caught him more than once sitting there playing on his computer and petting the cat. So, and Simba's a good kitty. Also, Rocky and Simba get along. I mean, they're dog and a cat. They're not supposed to get along. No. They bumped noses the first night, and Simba kind of didn't like it, but then Rocky says, "What? A set of stairs? I'm going upstairs." He went up there, and apparently Simba and Rocky got the zoomies together, and they ran up and down the hallways, and they had fun. So Simba comes downstairs and sits in the chair, and he watches us, and he'll sit there. As long as Tyler's down here, he'll be down here. Luna and Roscoe don't growl at each other much. They didn't really before. That was more of a Willa thing. But yet again, Roscoe still thinks he's a small puppy, instead of this big long-legged moose that he is. And when he runs from the car to the house, he easily tramples the dogs. Rocky and Luna, he could easily trample them, and so that's why we gotta he's got to be the last one going in or the first one going in. Can't be, because the other dogs have to go in first or they have to go in last. Otherwise, Roscoe will mow him right over. Now, Rocky's also learned how long Roscoe's lead is outside. So at potty time, we have to put Roscoe on a lead. Lead is approximately 20, maybe 30 feet long. We used to double it up, and it was probably a good 50, 60 feet. But we soon discovered that when you had a lead that long, he could get wrapped around things and he could get unwrapped. I have since removed those obstacles. He would get wrapped around the clothesline poles, which were all rusty and falling apart, so I pulled him out with a skid steer, and now he could go there, and that wouldn't be a problem anymore. And because of the winter season, the bird bath and the pumpkin patch and everything is all gone, so he could use the full lead. I might just do that. But back to this. Rocky has learned exactly how long Roscoe's lead is, and so Rocky will run zoomies just outside the reach of that. And there he is. He's looking around. And he has learned that he can do zoomies, and Roscoe can't catch him. It's pretty funny. But then again, sometimes when Roscoe gets out of the car first, Rocky will jump out right after him and chase him. And instead of ducking into the house, they will run around the back side of the house, over by the boiler room, to the opposite side of the property, all the way around the tree line and back around to the car, and they'll run around the whole property a couple times. And then all of a sudden, Roscoe will just stop dead in his tracks, and it's like he gets this look on his face like, what the hell am I running for? And then they turn around, and then they right in the house. So it's been a good time. They had a bizarre dream last night. We have a old wooden shed back corner of the property. It's full of junk. Previous tenants filled it full of tires and other crap. And it was one of the favorite spots for Willa and Luna to go to. If you knew Willa, she loved chasing squirrels, mice, things like that. I got her on video one time. She was chasing a chipmunk, and she cornered it in the fat man's garage, and it had ducked underneath a wood pile, which was underneath the bench. Well, it just so happens that we were sitting in the garage doing something, I can't remember what it was, and all you could see was her tail sticking out, and her tail was going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and her back legs, and she had her half, if not 3/4 of her body stuck in this wood pile, and she was trying to get more of it in, and she was barking because she was hell-bent to leather going to get that chipmunk. She never did, but it sure was fun watching her. Well, back to the story. I had dreamt that we had let the dogs out to go potty, and Luna went over to the shed, and she came back carrying an abandoned puppy in her mouth, and she brought the puppy inside. So, I don't know. I can't really flip the camera to show you. She has taken over Willa's bed. Willa had a favorite bed. Luna has taken that over, when we're gone, or when the bed's too crowded or whatever, she sleeps on that. And I understand why. But maybe she smells her sister and she's lonely. She's been doing a lot of moping around lately, and the look in her eyes, you can read their face. The teddy bears are very emotional dogs. You can read the expression on their face. You can see it. Their eyebrows, the looks on their face, their tongue, the smile, their tail, their posture, everything. If you've been around them for a while, I could always tell. I think Luna misses her sister, but I can't bring her back. And maybe we should make Luna a mama. Maybe we should adopt a puppy. Maybe we should just give it time and see what happens with Rocky. I don't know. These are all things that we've been thinking about. I did contact a breeder down in Illinois. Not teddy bears, they're something else. Burmese mountain dogs and poodles or something like that. Burma doodles or something like that. They're really cute. They're very tiny dogs, about the size of Willa. They grow to anywhere between 10 and 15 pounds total. And that's actually exactly what I'm looking for. Roscoe's way too big for me. I love Roscoe. Just don't tell her, Ma. Don't tell her. But I like the smaller dogs. I like the fact that I can grab Willa, throw her under my arm, grab a blanket, go to sleep, and that's exactly where she's going to be in the morning because that's what she loves. Luna, I grab her, I throw her on her back, and she will go right to sleep, and she'll stay there. But usually sometime during the night, she'll get up and she'll do like Rocky does, get up on the back of the couch. She likes to go right up here. She'll sleep right in this crack right here. Or the curtains here, the windows right there. If the couch was back a little bit farther and I had put the blankets like I used to do up in the windowsill, she would sleep on top of those blankets, and that's where you could find her. She's like a cat. Sit out the window or sleep. She likes it there. Anyway, it's going on a half hour here, so probably the next update will be in a couple of days. Probably when we get back from the vet. We're doing better. It's been a few days since I've had a huge mental breakdown. I have talked to a lot of people. A lot of people are very understanding. I've had a couple of people tell me that it's just a fucking dog. What's the matter with you? Those are the people that I guess I just need to distance myself from because they just don't understand. And at the moment, I don't need them people in my life because Willa and Luna, the first 5 years of their life, 6 years of their life, went everywhere with me. I was driving Wrecker. When I worked at Tender Care, I used to bring them to the office with me, especially when they were puppies. They would come to the office with me and they would sleep. I brought a bed. They would sleep in their bed underneath my desk or on top of my desk. Many, many times. They did that. When they got bigger, it was a little bit more difficult to do, especially when I started driving the big coach. I couldn't bring them with anymore. Well, then I started driving Wrecker. They went with me everywhere. And then when I got the smaller Wrecker, that was perfect for them. They loved that truck. It was the best. A big ass bench seat. They love that. And then when I started working for A1, I used to bring them with all the time. And they'd go visit Tanya, and they'd visit Mike, go all over the place. Well, when we got Roscoe, I had to stop doing that because it just wasn't fair. Because Roscoe's just too big. He's too big to be having 3 dogs in the truck. It's just too much room. Plus, Roscoe sheds a lot, and he leaves a lot of hair behind, and it makes a mess in the truck. And then I have a coworker that is a fucking ass, and I cannot. I don't need just one more thing pissing him off. I mean, just me having breathing is enough to piss him off, apparently. So, that's how close I was. And they did everything with us. When we were homeless, not only were they our emotional support, but they were our anchor. If it wasn't for them giving us the stability of something to have to take care of, I don't think we would have made it. I mean, Tina, Tyler, and I both had the responsibility of taking care of the dogs. We had to take them out to go potty. That meant getting dressed, going out the door, walking them across the parking lot, bringing them back in, you know. And then when the weather was bad, we would play in the hotel, the laundry room or down the hall, depending upon how populated the hotel was. If there wasn't a lot of people on our wing, we would play it down the hall, and we would get a good quarter of the hallway, and we would throw a ball back and forth, and it was crazy. Usually the night manager would come down and kind of wonder what the noise was, and then they would see us and they would just laugh at us. It's not like we were making a lot of noise or it was after hours or anything, because it wasn't. It was usually like, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, kind of like the time when everybody's having dinner. We'd have to do that for a while because we would tire them out, and then we wouldn't have any problems. They're good dogs. There's so many things that I'm gonna miss about the girls, because without Willa, Luna won't do the things that she did. She just not the same dog. She might need a companion herself, and Rocky may not be it. Getting Rocky may have been the wrong decision. Check that. Getting Rocky may have been not the correct decision for Luna, but the correct decision for Rocky. Rocky's going to have a far better life with us, I think. I don't know. I don't know how his people were. I don't know. But I know how my wife is. I know how my son is, and I know how I am. And he's going to be spoiled. And if I could ever just get him to lay on his back and let me give him belly rubs, he will purr like a cat. Hi, Rocky. But as it is right now, we're playing fetch. We're working on our sit. He won't sit on command, but he knows that when he comes in from potty, he'll get a potty treat. And usually he'll be the last dog because everybody else will have sit instead of him. And I think he kind of picks it up from the other dogs that he's got to come in and sit before he gets his treat. Sometimes he'll come in and sit right away and he'll get his treat right away. And I think I'm not doing it right because I'm giving him the treat too fast, because he doesn't realize that, oh, I sat, and that's a good thing. And then I get my treat. I don't think he's putting 2 and 2 together. But I've got time, and we will work on it. He does know his name. He definitely knows his name. He loves to play. He's a good dog. He hasn't bonded with anybody in particular. He does like to be around me. But whenever we're sitting on the couch, it always seems like he would rather sit next to Tyler. I don't know what he's like when I'm gone. If he hangs around Tina more than Tyler, it's hard to say. Oh. I had to jump down. So, anyways, it's 30 minutes long now. It's time to call it a night. You guys have a good night. It's 10:20 at night on the 14th. We're going to call it a night here, and I'll probably give an update to this after the vet appointment.